last round of
Horror Show.
I discovered there is life after death.
How do you know?
There is a certain mental transference, telepathy that occurs between the vampires and their victims.
So let the sun shine in, face it with a grin. Smilers never lose, and frowners never win. So let the
All right, this is the last roundup horror show. I'm Frank, and with me, as always, we have Jason Miller.
Yep.
There he is. Randy Ray McGuff Wotan.
Hi, guys.
Sad again. John Walmsley is also here. And we talked about a couple weird movies, weird in completely different ways. Let's start in
This might be our weirdest bill yet, honestly. These two movies were
they are a nice double feature. They are in the same family of things, kind of.
Yeah.
People dressing up like animals in one way or another. 2016, we'll start things off with Jason's pick, Furry Nights. He chose this after I selected mine, so there was no other basis, I assume.
That was it.
That was it. The summary for this is a group of people wearing animal masks seek revenge against a group of teenagers after one of the teens accidentally kills one of the furries, having confused him for a real animal. Written and directed by J. Zachary Thurman. Jason, do you have any information? We're going to start with you anyways, so you just hit us with what you got.
So before the title card even popped up, I was ready to shut this movie off. Very shitty start. The first 4 minutes, and I was apologizing to you guys. Another one of those movies with the blood spatter of effects on the screen. Just not a place for that in a cinematic movie. And then it stays on there for way too long.
Unless you wanted the
camera's moving around.
Unless you wanted the camera to be a known entity in the movie.
Yeah, like it was there.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
Might have just been a mistake, but
it was like a fucking phone filter. This thing looked like it was shot on a phone.
Yeah, it was bad. It was
old phone.
Yeah. I believe it. They changed at one point. They changed the what's it called? The opaque or whatever of the blood. Anyways, horrible acting. Well, one of the worst I've seen. I believe this is the worst acted movie that I've ever picked on here. The story's okay. I didn't mind the plot. As it went on, it got better. And the production ended up being pretty good for the budget. There were some good shots in this, and all the night scenes looked great. It was lit well. You could see everything. They should have just shot the whole movie at night. I think that would have bumped it up a couple points alone. The music was okay. Nothing to complain about there. Like everything but the acting was okay. I think even like some of the furries, like where they're doing some of the stalking and killing, like their movements, the way they're acting it was cool. They had great timing with the looks, and they impressed me too.
That wolf was impressive. Like he was.
Yeah, there's some shots where he just
creepy. Like a smidge.
Yeah. Like he's standing there with an axe, I think, at one point, just staring at him. And like, that's a good shot. That was definitely, these people knew they knew horror. They knew what they wanted, but just, you can only you get what you get. You don't throw a fit. Like your budget only calls for that acting talent. That's what you're going to get. This movie with a budget and some people that could act, this might be a decent slasher.
It really could.
But we got what we got. I have down 3 or 4, so I'm gonna go 3.5.
There you go. See, I don't think I don't think any of the problems with it inherently involve budget whatsoever. I think the things I have problems with were choices that were made. But I was just writing out in my head my direct thoughts. So it was like, I wrote, oh wow, what a disappointing start to a movie. The blood effect that they used when the guy shoots the bear makes me think they made this thing on an iPhone. Putting blood on a camera lens indicates you want the people to be aware of the camera. So it's just a really fucking bizarre thing. And I thought it was just bad decisions altogether. Why would you be running through the woods, see a ladder propped against an isolated tree, and think it's an escape from any situation? This guy tries to run up a ladder that's just on a tree.
No, I have an answer for that.
Yeah.
In the next scene, in the next scene, where because I made a note of this Oscar-winning line, "Don't touch it. I dare you to taste it." And it was his like hunting stand.
Oh, okay.
The tree, like his hunting.
Oh, it's a tree blind. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what he was trying to get up to.
Made no sense.
At first, I was like, I watched it like a couple times, and I was like, wait a minute. And then because the scene was such a jump to right into the next set of action of what the main characters are there to do. You just didn't even really look at the.
Yeah, and they didn't even need that beginning part with that hunter. They didn't need him that at all. They could have fucking threw that right away. I mean, they would have lost time that they probably needed to make this a feature film. Because what is this, like an hour?
It's just over.
10 minutes in, I was like, man, this is just a bad movie with bad actors pretending to be an even like, so making an even worse movie than what we're watching. And I'm watching this through like a montage with a bad song by a bad band that is like a bad cover band of another bad band. It's just all bad stuff in this first beginning part.
What you doing, buddy?
Action. That was good.
This monopolizes half of my life because if they get in a car, there's going to be goddamn mud in there, and then you're not going to clean it out, and I'm going to spend 2.5 hours cleaning it out. Again.
How'd the swamp monster learn about boots? Always learn about boots. Oh my god. How did the swamp monster learn about boots? Dude, it's a cheesy fucking movie. That's what we said. I've always learned. He has flippers.
And there's so much weird shit in it too. Like there's a point where I wondered why they included this line where this unmemorable actress says to this unmemorable actor, you know your vest's inside out, right? And then he just flips it the right side and then walks away. Like there was nothing. It was just dialogue for like, and it made me think that this writer was like, this filmmaker was like, what would a person do? These are people. They live in the world. They should probably like, it just seems like he just came up with some bullshit off the top of his head, just stick in dialogue. He didn't know what people would say. Like
maybe like he portrayed that dude as to be kind of a dumbass, right? Isn't he one that?
Well, he also went from orange, so he was wearing like an orange vest in the woods to a darker color. So when he did that, I thought he was going to get shot.
Yeah, I thought there was a reason for it or something.
Maybe that was the joke. But it was way over.
But it didn't hit.
Too
Nothing hit. And if they were trying to make him look like a dumbass, it wasn't sharp enough to be like a dig at him or anything. It was more like she was just like, "Hey, your shoelaces are untied." You know?
Yeah.
It's funny now though.
The whole idea of what these people do is fucking crazy to me, because what are the worst things that could happen if they just immediately called the police? This is in a time of cell phones. These people have cell phones. They shot a man by accident who was dressed up like a bear in the woods. What police, what kind of law enforcement is going to be like?
Any attorney can probably get you out of that.
Yeah. You certainly
dressed up like a real bear, an animal in the woods.
Fucking chop the guy up and throw him in the river, right? Like, you don't do that. That is a morality jump. That is, these people were making a shitty movie. They were kind of terrible people, but they certainly weren't fucking Henry the fucking serial killer. Just fucking bizarre. The fucking video came
one you don't.
the video camera filter that they had when
with
they
the
were doing
cassette
the
icon.
yeah, when they were doing
Like-
when they were doing that, it drove me nuts because it was
And
like
him
a
trying to act
filter.
like he's crying.
Yeah, and it was like a fucking filter. It looked bad, just bad. But there was a couple. The writing in this killed me too. Sometimes this one girl says, "Do we have any more chicken nuggets?" Like she asks it right before she gets killed. They've been out in this fucking woods for 2 days. How are they cooking or heating chicken nuggets or storing them? It didn't make sense to me. More weird shit. But I feel like this had a lot of potential, like you said. If all they would have had to do for me is just remove all the cartoony ones, get rid of all the cartoony ones, stick with the poodle and the fucking wolf. Those look good. Get rid of the fucking noises they make too.
No, I love
like,
that.
Oh,
like
Jesus,
the little
yeah.
squeaks and shit. Almost cartoony. Make them silent. But the ending is cool. There's an awesome chainsaw kill, like out of nowhere. You're like, what the fuck? It looks good. The prosthetic is probably where they spent most of their money, I assume. But then I got a good laugh. The whole end scene's like kind of cool. Whenever the wolf's tail gets pulled out and it's revealed it's a butt plug.
It's a butt
And
plug.
then throws it at the wolf and it hits the wall and leaves like a little poop mark on the
Yeah.
that was good. But yeah, there was a lot
That
of
was
good.
yeah. There's a lot of good stuff
Pretty,
with
pretty good.
there's a lot of good machete stuff too, like at the end there. But ultimately, it's a 4. Like I think that's where it's at. Who's next? Randy John?
Randy John.
Randy John. John
Yeah, I'll
Randy.
let you go. Yeah.
So first impression, I looked at the runtime. I was like, well, thank God it's just over now. I feel like, I mean, I guess it's probably the joke of it, but how can these people seriously take these furries looking like real animals and shooting them? That hunter shot that dude drinking from the lake or the river in broad daylight.
That's true.
Like, come on, man. That's a grizzled hunter right there. He's been hunting for years. That looks like any bear you ever seen. And then oh, he thought he was a bear. He thought he was that was like a cartoony teddy bear. All right, ain't no way he thought that looked like a real bear. And that whole scene, I hated how much time they focused on that sleeping blonde. I would have liked to have seen, all you see is like some beer cans roll around, and then you see her, or you see the dude with the gun creeping around, and you see her, and then a gunshot. That's all you see. I would have liked to have seen like the bear, like, I don't know, squeaking and going through their shit. Something. You know, you don't even see like, did he try to attack him? Did he just kill him out of malice? You know, like just something like that. But this is a super indie flick. They probably had like, I don't know, 10 grand actors. I feel like some of them were probably pals already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they might have only had like a couple actual like indie actors, and maybe it was just like a bunch of friends making this, because that's what it seemed like. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were the furries when they weren't on camera. Just to say much.
Yeah. I don't think any of the actors had like a picture on IMDb. Like, and this is probably like the only thing they've done. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, tons of terrible acting. The neck break with the tails pulling apart from each other, that was over the top, stupid, silly fun. I like it. The kangaroo. All right.
Yeah.
Like the
boxing gloves and shit
fight at the end. That was rad. Like he leaned back on the tail and did the kangaroo.
Oh yeah.
But no, full well, that's just a stuffed tail. It goes for his ass. That was fucking funny. And then the cut off hands with no blood coming out of them.
Oh
they
yeah,
were
that
in
was
budget
awesome.
by that time.
But
yeah,
the thing about that,
look good.
listen, he was still fucking squeaking, man. That bothered me there too. He was still squeaking when he was all cut. You would be screaming like your hands are gone. You would be.
Yeah, he was still, like trying to get the shots and stuff. But that wasn't even the filmmaker guy. That was one of his actors.
Yeah.
Right? He was the guy that started with like a Philly accent and then it lost it.
Yeah, I think that I think that the original guy that was wearing that outfit was the director, because he did play. Oh my god, I got cats fighting in here, man.
Oh shit.
Did you hear that?
No.
Like right here. But fuck. Oh, goddamn.
He played, you said
the original kangaroo, the guy that gets killed and then he takes
like a stunt. Like a fake Shemp kangaroo.
Yeah, something like that.
It's way better. We've watched way worse movies on here, I think. Acting, I don't
know about that.
It's just over an hour long. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Well, that blood, what was that? The Streets Run Red. Oh yeah. That was a bad movie.
Christ, I forgot about that. I kept thinking Dr. Bubenstein.
That was a bad one too. Yeah.
Yeah. I laughed a lot.
I cried.
Yeah. I laughed a ton. It was stupid. It was just over the top and I dug it. I still gave it a 4 because it's like low quality. They could have done more with what they had. I feel if it would have been serious, but you had better actors and stuff. But if it would have been serious, it could have been cool. Because that wolf, I wish you would have kept the red when it turned red. I wish you would have kept that. He didn't need to go get a new one. But yeah, I gave it a 4.
What he did? Okay. You think he went and got a new mask after that? That was the end of the movie.
That was post-credit scene shows the guy.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't watch this through credits.
I was done, man.
Yeah, it was.
John's like, I wonder if there's more.
Dude, I do.
Are they going to set up
I always scrub to see if there's like some more extra shit. I love extra shit. Bad or good, I don't care. Maybe it'll like shed some light on something. But yeah, it shows him. He looks like they only show him from the chin down. He looks like Bob from Twin Peaks. Just from the chin, the lips down. So he goes to the store, right? And he looks up, he's looking through all the different masks, and he finds the exact mask he had up on the wall, and he just smiles a little bit. Like it was kind of cool. Like he just looks like
for a sequel.
And shit, unknowing.
Much like a butt plug thrown at the wall, this movie was a shit smear. I was not a fan of any of this. I had probably one of the worst times I've had in a long time watching movies. The only nice things I can say are things you guys already touched on. The chainsaw kill was cool. The dark parts, nighttime stuff was great. Some of the hand cam shots were pretty neat, I thought. And the 90s music pop style thing that they did was all right. Everything else about this was terrible. Terrible dialogue, terrible acting. That rabbit laugh made me want to hang myself through most of it. You get charming dialogue like this. Look, it's the road.
Yeah, that's about right.
As you come upon the road. I mean, I don't know what the fuck. I don't understand how this shit gets made sometimes. Even if they had 10 grand, I'd rather give 10 grand to somebody else that's doing something else than this script.
No,
I would have looked at this script and been like, absolutely not.
I forgot about this.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to ask you guys if this is the thing that happened, because it kind of went fast and I wasn't going back to see if it happened. Did the girl's get cut off and
yes,
and then fly at the camera, and then the guy said thanks for the
got my booby shot.
Ah, exactly.
Yeah, you got my booby shot. Yeah.
And it was all fast, and I was like
implant in it and stuff.
I think it might have started off as something they wanted to do as a serious movie, and as they're filming it, they're like, we're just gonna ad lib some funny shit here and there, stuff like that. Obviously, that they put in, but I don't know, man. when it was over, I sat there for like a minute and I was like, Jesus Christ, that was the longest hour I've ever had, I think. So I don't know. I can't not recommend it to people because I sat through it, so you should have to too. But at the end of the day, some people might like this more than I did. Again, it's as a good idea. It's just poorly executed across the board, in my opinion. I think Jason had hit on some good points at the beginning with his review. With a bigger budget, maybe better actors involved, this could have been something that we might be talking about with like, oh, this everybody's got to see this. But as far as I'm concerned, I say watch this at your own peril, but at least give it a watch. 3 out of 10 for me. So
it's only an hour.
I mean, there's good bones here. Like the way that the things look in the woods in the dark is pretty cool. But
yeah, they had really good night shots.
You can only do so much.
Right.
Your map self-measures did here more.